Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. We just got off with our guy Ken Davis from That Davis Show. Man, it's always good talking with Ken, man. And whatever good news or whatever potential good news he has for his meeting today, we definitely wish him the best. Ken's one of the real dudes that you just root for. You know, it's just good people. You know, there's a lot of D-bags in this industry. You know, a lot of people that I know I wouldn't get along with, because I've met them a few times, and the way that they acted, you know, when they didn't know who I was or didn't know that I was part of the industry. It's just D-bags, you know, and that's a little frustrating, you know, because at the end of the day, just be nice, you know, just be a good human being. And Ken's one of those guys. He's not one of those D-bags. Ken's one of the nicest guys out there. You know, he's real. I love it. And, you know, I wish him nothing but the best. You know, hope he gets $1 million, dude. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. You know, I wish him, I wish all the people that I know in my circle, either here or in life, I wish him the best, you know? So, good luck to Kenneth, with his meeting for whatever he's got. And, you know, he'll definitely be sure to tell us. And the best part about it is he said he's not going anywhere. So, that's awesome. That's really, really awesome. Well, someone who I wish would go somewhere is Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy. I wish those mother hubbards would go there, but they're not. They're not. We're going to talk to our – yes, you are. You are an idiot. But our next guest, you know, he comes on every Friday, and it's our boy out in Connecticut with one of the hottest networks in the country. It's the Tape Never Lies Network, and he's a good friend, and I can't wait to talk a little Bears. There's, you know, we're talking free agents. What are we going to do? There's a lot of free agents that we have to deal with. A lot of rumors, quarterback rumors. So let's not even waste any time. You can find him on Twitter at fulfill O, or he's an IG guy. So go to follow him on Instagram at Phil_Toshin. God, let's bring him out. He's a man behind the Tape Never Lies Network, Phil Toshin. Phil, what's up, Papa? How are you?
So I work in Connecticut. I just wanted you to say which pizza's better, New York pizza or Connecticut pizza?
New Haven's the best.
All right.
New Haven's the best.
Can I get that on video?
Yeah, let's get it on video. We're on video, so it is all on video.
Pizza Rob?
Who's Pizza Rob?
That's you, right? No.
No.
So where's the best pizza from?
New Haven has the best pizza in the country. I look fucking great in that, too. Good camera angle. I got to review this.
Thank you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Our boy, Phil. What's up, buddy? How are you?
There you go. I mean, the tape doesn't lie. Either do the taste buds, right?
How you doing, man? How's the weather out there? Doesn't look as cold or snowy out there as it did a couple of weeks ago.
It's cold as hell and windy, like you guys sent that off the lake. But apparently next week it's going to be in the 60s. So it's cold today, but we got some sun. But, you know.
Okay. Yeah, we're in the mid-40s today, and next week it's going to be 50s over the weekend and the 60s for like 4 or 5 days straight. So
exactly. That's what apparently the forecast here is 65s. Hey, I'll take it, man. It's been a snowy winter. My son said to me, Daddy, why does our lawn always still have snow on it all the time? I go, because we are on the east side of the street, so the sun, yeah, it stays there all. So we have
a shadow.
We got the shade. Mm-hmm. I remember our buddies came from across the pond and they visited us in Connecticut. They're like, "Oh my God, this is like a jungle. So many trees." Like, it's funny when you hear it from other people's perspective. But yeah. New Haven pizza, Shawn.
You've been telling me. You've been telling me.
Get here, I'm taking you. We're filming your face reaction.
My action.
I get it all today. It started early with my boy Rashad, Cool Kennedy. We got a new musical director at
Saw.
the TTNL. So yeah, he was giving me a little smack about hot dogs from Chicago, and then it turns to pizza. So I got it. I sent that to Ivan. Thanks, Ivan. I don't know how I got knocked off for a second because I went to press mute, unmute, and so I can hear, and then it just knocked me off. I don't know. There you go. Yeah, my pizza party. I got so many people I got to bring for this pizza. Everyone's like, they should be promoting or be a sponsor to our show because we always talk about the pizza there. But
I think they have enough, especially after the word got out.
Yeah, they don't even freeze the pizzas and send it out. Like I know people in Chicago have asked me, and I'm like, guys, I'm not a guy that's gonna blow smoke about this. If I had to choose where I would live without my wife getting on me, it would be Chicago. I'm not kidding you. I love the city. It's beautiful. I mean, New York versus Chicago, and it's not because I'm a Bears fan. It's just the reality, the beauty of Chicago, the cleanliness, the price of eating out is like 30% less than New York. It's so overpriced, and it's dirty. People are mean. It's crazy. But Chicago is the complete utter opposite of what I just described. So when it comes to pizza, and I'm telling you, New Haven pizza is just the best in the world. I've had the experience of it all. I'm
so my question to you is this: are you saying New Haven pizza, or are you saying Moderna pizza? Because New Haven pizza, that's a whole nother thing. Because that Moderna's one spot in New Haven. Is it all of New Haven pizza?
No, there's three. It's modern pizza. Modern, not Moderna.
Oh, not Moderna. It's modern pizza.
Yeah, you're putting that Italian slang more. You went full.
Che cosa,
Modern pizza. So that's the name of their
modern
place. So,
pizza.
So there's in New Haven. I said it on the post today. Chefs in Cali, LA, San Francisco, San Diego, they actually pay for water to be shipped from New Haven so they can have the dough replicated to what it is New Haven style pizza is. I think it's in the water. I don't know, but it is something that you have to try, and then you give your honest. I'm not saying Chicago pizza isn't good. It's the reality of the truth. And everybody, like I said, Shawn, every town in America, there's a great pizza place, right? Great. But modern pizza in New Haven, there's three kings: Frank Pepe's Pizza, then there's Sally's Pizza, and then there's Modern Pizza. And those three are the kings. And this dude, Dave Portney, the pizza taster, you saw it there. He said it too. Best in the country. And Travel Food Network, best in the world. They already did this. And I'm keeping it 100 to all my Chicago peeps. I love you. But we got something in New Haven. It's not just Yale University.
Well, I'll be the judge of that.
You will judge. We'll do it on your show.
See, here's a problem. Yeah. It's like, that guy, like he went to first of all, you go to all the chains here. Like you don't, and then you judge the chain because those are the ones you know Pizzeria Uno, Illuminati, Giordano's. So these are all the ones that you know. So you go and try those. Dude, those aren't even the best in the city. We're talking, because if it depends on what you're talking. Like if you're talking thin crust, parlor style pizza that we grew up on. See, deep dish pizza, that was a treat for us growing up in the day, because that was, first of all, that was expensive.
It's for tourists.
That was mad expensive. That's mad expensive. It was like, we ain't get no pizza, and then they cut them in triangles, so there's only 8. You got a big family, like no one's splitting that. Right. So if you're talking parlor pizza, then we definitely got to go, because I got Vito and Nick's. So I'm excited.
You come, I bring you there, we'll film it. I've had Shane, my partner on TTNL. Who gives me more shit than him? Right? He's like, this is hyped. This is hyped. He came here. It's the only thing he gives me credit for. He's like, holy shit, you were not playing. Now, all three of those places always have lines, as my wife can attest. So we brought a fan of our network, Sandy Tom from Scotland. He came down to the States. He wanted to try Moderna pizza. I took him there. He's like, you know what? I'm stupid. In his accent, I already ate a little bit on the train ride here. Oh, I'll probably have 1 or 2 slices. That's it. 11 slices later, he's like, holy cow, this is like amazing. So
should have had him purge. Okay,
I know. I should get them to sponsor. I did talk to one of the managers there. I mention you guys all the time on the show. I got to do something. They were like, absolutely, we would do, because they don't even care. Like Illuminati sending it across the country. They're like, you freeze this pizza, it loses our original taste, and we want people to taste it. And listen, Steven Spielberg is flying in to New Haven just for Moderna pizza. That shows you right there. Freaking guy. So anyway, that's the big story there. The free agency and the quarterback is the big story with the Chicago Bears, Shawn. And listen, I've been on this for 2 months now. We've talked about it, you and I, and everybody. All the blog boys are changing their tunes now. They had it. They got sources. But I said desperation calls for desperate times. And the Bears organization, the collaboration crew, they have desperate times. And obviously Russell Wilson, where there's smoke, there's fire, and Deshaun Watson are the two guys that can overcome the negativity. You like that? The
That's
negativity.
That's funny.
That's going to be our. You can use it too, just like
Thank you.
grubby little hands.
That's a great word. That's a great.
I stole it from Berlissimo, our draft guy on the network with us. I give him full credit. He called out the idiot. This guy is an idiot. We're gonna do some parody songs about Nagy, obviously, but yeah, I think this is their big move. Try to get Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson, and from the people that I've spoken to, it's going down. I mean, there's offers already on the table for Deshaun Watson, and I don't know what the outside the box. So I know I'm talking a lot. If you saw their presser, the one thing, Shawn, that stood out was they both said, and it was key in their presser. They both offered something that they didn't have to. They both said, and there's other options on the table that nobody's talking about in the media. And if you go back, you hear Nagy and Pace say those similar statements. So what that is it a trade for Matt Ryan? Because I don't see any, because it can't be, something that they insinuate that it's bigger than what people are talking about. So it ain't a signing of Gardner Minshew or or something like, or getting Derek Carr. It's got to be something bigger. And I think the biggest fish is Russell Wilson. But is Dak Prescott, like Shane said, is Dak Prescott a trade option? I don't know, man.
See, yeah, and I don't see that, and it's a shame. Just I don't like the way that whole situation has been handled in Dallas. Okay, because you got Tony Romo, who never would have gone through that. Never would have gone.
Yes.
Jerry Jones never would have put his boy through that. And I think that the fact of the matter is, like, there's a lot of different ideas as to why. But what they're doing to Dak Prescott is criminal. You know what? Let me not say criminal, because she's still getting money. All right. Even if they tag him again, he's still getting 36 million.
Yeah,
that's
double
that's
tag. This is the second time.
Yeah, he's not he's not waiting in the link line anytime soon. The wick line, you know what I
But I
mean?
know
So,
what you're saying. That
but
there
but
is
you know what? Give like treat him like you did. Like I think Dak Prescott might be better than Tony Romo, especially with the team that he's on. You got the Ezekiel Elliott, you got the Amari Cooper. You have a good team, and he's put up the numbers. But for whatever reason, Jerry Jones just refuses to pay him. So I doubt I doubt that they part with him, Dallas.
Mhm.
I just don't think they want to give him a long-term deal. So for the Bears, obviously I would love Deshaun Watson because he's younger,
Right.
and if we don't get him, then I'd love Russell Wilson because he's proven, and his window for us isn't as big as Deshaun Watson's. But so either or, I'm good with. I just think you'd have to give up more for Watson because of his age. But if Russell Wilson came here, I'd be happy as a pig and slop. But now you got to rework contracts. Now you have to restructure deals.
They got to do it anyway.
True, but
They got to do
the
it.
money, the amount of money that they're having that they have to deal with now. Because don't forget, you still got Nick Foles' contract that's still on the books, and
Right.
he has a nice piece of change. And so when you bring a Russell Wilson contract or Deshaun Watson, well, his two, I forgot he signed a big deal for 160, I believe 164, and so with that, now you really got to maneuver money around because you were the quarterback position, didn't have that big hit, and the cap's going down. So you really got to your cap guys you got to have to go to quite a few people and say, hey, listen, ever hear the Bobby Bonilla day?
Yeah.
Because you know what? I'll tell you what. If I was a player, if I'm like Khalil Mack, I'm like, you know what? Done. You pay me for the next 20 years. You break my contract up over the next 20 years. Oh man, dude. Who did that is Chris Zorich. I got to get him on the show. I got to get him on the show to confirm it. But one of the guys was telling me, and so I'll have to confirm it with him when he comes on the show. But they said he was owed $2 million by the Bears.
Really?
He restructured to say, you know what, give me $100,000 for 20 years. I'm like,
Nice.
dude, tell me that's not a Notre Dame education right there. He's like, for 20 years, I literally don't have to. And he's a lawyer now, but if he didn't want to, you can live off $100,000 a year.
Exactly.
You can live off $100,000 a year, especially if your wife's working, and then you invest right. Man. So that's smart.
Well, I would say we got into a heated debate the other night on our show, Keeping It 100. We had Dante Jones, former teammate of Chris Zorich, linebacker, and Lemonhead, my boy Lemuel Stinson on with us, former corner of the Bears. And after we spoke with them, we talked about the cap. And we have Bears nerd, Matt Carstensen, who is our cap guru, if you will. And Shane, the smartest man, fighting me and debating me. Now, I know, Shawn, the NFL Sunday Ticket.
Phil, we lost your audio.
We lost you. Someone calling you?
My wife was calling me again. She's got to learn Fridays, Steph. Fridays. Oh, my God. So, can you hear me?
We got you. We got you back.
Okay. So, every person should know in the NFL are negotiating. CBS, NBC, ESPN, and Disney are negotiating these deals now to get the television money, and it's in the upwards of $3 million for the season per $3 billion rather. So the salary cap is going to go up. In fact, these guys are billionaires, so they could set the cap at whatever the hell they want. I don't know where it's going to be. Everybody's still guessing. Adam Schefter said 182 yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, it's not set yet, so everyone's kind of just ballparking it.
So the Chicago Bears, just like every other team, are going to have to manipulate the cap for this season only, because next year you're going to get these television deals that are going to hit in. Whether or not the fans are in the stands or not is not going to impede the money that they're gaining, especially with the Sunday Ticket up in 2021 after next season. So that's just another thing. Streaming, is it going to be Amazon Prime? Think about this. pay-per-view per your team. I'm in Connecticut. I got to have the Sunday ticket in order to see the Bears play. So there's millions and billions of people that are all over the world that a fan of whatever team are going to be paying to see that, or they're stealing a live stream on some pirated thing. But the reality is, to offer it and to be that front runner to do that, that's going to affect the salary cap, as it should. And you're the most popular sport in the country, where television and movies are the top of the line. Where entertainment capital of the world is the United States. So when you're the top show, think about this, Shawn.
Mhm.
The NFL primetime Sunday night game was the most popular show on television all season long. That is combating all these shows on TV. All these great shows that they have on television now. The NFL still outviews them on every level. So it could be Thursday night,
Because
Saturday.
they own Sunday, dude. It's no
They
longer the
own
Lord's Day.
Sunday.
It's the NFL's
Exactly.
day.
Football has been my religion since I was a kid, I told my father. He's like, you got to go to church, Phil. I go, I do. It's Sunday watching the Bears. That's my church.
The only thing, Phil, that's awesome is that if you lived on the West Coast, because if you live on the
Oh, my
West Coast, you
I
wake
said the
up.
same thing.
Did you?
Yes.
You
go,
wake up at 12 o'clock, so 10 o'clock on Sunday morning.
You
Your
go all
football
day.
starts.
Yeah.
It starts.
You're so spoiled. I told Adam Rank, you're so
bastards.
My buddy, I was on his show the other day. I go, you're so spoiled. You wake up with pancakes and the Bears. Your 4 o'clock game for us, everyone's tired here. You guys, that's 1 o'clock for you. You're just stretching your legs now. You're ready for lunch. You're watching the next game. Then you got, they're spoiled on the West Coast. They are. That's where I got to get to the West Coast. That's what I got to. That's my goal, to live in San Diego near the beach. So it's 85 every day and the ocean. Those are my 3 favorite things: the Bears, the ocean, and the beach, and 85 degrees. That would be. Now, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I just got a.
Is everyone
some
fighting
bread.
over the pizza?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like. So here's from Brad Biggs, your boy.
Oh my God! Talk about dropping the ball on questions. Did you hear his question? So are you going to be involved in the quarterback? Of course, Brad. What do you think? Go ahead.
So
I'm sorry.
here's what he wrote. He said, the thinking among multiple sources, the Bears have prioritized making a run at Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson. His agent included the team on a list of 4 clubs Wilson would approve a trade to, although it hasn't reached a point where he's asked to be out. 2 of the 3 other teams on Wilson's list probably can be ruled out. The Saints are mired to salary cap hell, and the Cowboys are expected to keep Dak Prescott. The 4th is the Vegas Raiders, and they've showed strong public support for Derek Carr.
Yes, they did. They went out and said it. But that doesn't mean shit. If what's his name for Mike Mayock's coming out there, we love Derek. We've saw this before. This is lying season. We're gonna lie our asses off of what we think. In fact, I was so disappointed in the organization for not just admitting, all right, we're moving on from Mitch. You don't get any advantage, in my opinion, by keeping Mitch on the table. You've already destroyed that relationship. You've hurt that kid. I've never questioned whether or not Mitch has talent. He was the wrong choice for the Bears. We all know that. It's not revisit history here. It's reality. He had 2 generational talents. We said it all the time. Ryan Pace should have been fired. Nagy gone. The negativity out of Chicago, but it's there. There's nothing we could do. Now they got to do what they always do, Shawn. Sign a free agent, trade for somebody, overpay to get this fixed. And that's okay. In this case, even more so, to have egg on your face, because it's the most important position in all of sports. It's not even close. So you could put any player on the roster on the table And it hurts like hell. I get it. Roquan Smith or Akeem Hicks or Khalil Mack, even my boy David Montgomery, you got to get the quarterback right. And my opinion is, out of the two, I'm on the other side. I'm all about Russell Wilson because I know what he is over and over and over again. Every time I see the guy on tape, it is a lesson of every talent and trait you want in a quarterback. And you can't do it. Like I said to Adam, I'll say it to you. The Chicago fan base has never had that moment in time on a Sunday afternoon or leading up to the game where you are like confident that your quarterback is coming to play the game. Like you don't have to worry about your quarterback. How many days and nights did you spend as a fan? I hope Rex plays good tomorrow. I hope Rex plays good. I hope Mitch brings his A game. I hope we get the good Jay. I hope we get the good Jay. There he is. I hope we get the good Jay.
I love
We
Jay.
don't have to do that. We don't have to do that with Russell in every game. Now you're down 8 at half, or 8-10 at half, 14 at half, Shawn. Russell Wilson coming out the half. You feel pretty good? You're always in the game with that kind of football player. Now, Watson, my number one quarterback in that draft, no doubt. Love him. But between the two, if I'm the Bears, based on what I see, we have defensively a Super Bowl caliber defense if the players are held accountable and are put in positions to be aggressive. Now, even more so when you get a Russell Wilson, you can afford this young defensive coordinator to get up in people's faces, be aggressive, use the talents, whatever they may be, despite a trade. If you trade Roquan, obviously you're going to have to find another middle linebacker. But in this scenario, we got Roquan. We got Khalil Mack. We are aggressive, and now you can do that without worry that you're going to get down because they made a big play over the top. You can do that with a Russell Wilson. You could do it with the Deshaun Watson. And the other thing is with fans, Bears fans, giving up first-round picks to me is okay. It doesn't ruin the franchise when you're replacing it with a known commodity because the first-round picks are gambles in the first place. You're trying to draft. So is the 20th pick overall going to unveil a Deshaun Watson or a Russell Wilson? No. You know, it's a crapshoot. So you go for the known commodity even if you have to give up 2 first-round picks. It was my same stance with Khalil Mack. Because it's a crapshoot, it's $1 billion business that they still get wrong. No matter how much they have the information, they still get it wrong. And Shawn, you've gone over the Kevin White, Leonard Floyd,
Even Mitch.
Mitch Trubisky. You're right there. You trade up. You miss 2 generational talents. You can't make it up. So
you
the point
you got a 67% chance of getting it right.
Exactly.
And you blew it.
And you blew it. And he still has a job. And this coach, I mean, me and you have gone all in. My father, Steve Edward, we had those 2 guys, Dante Jones and Lemuel Stinson. We put them. What's your thoughts of Matt Nagy? They all said the same thing that we've been saying. He's not a head coach. Some people just belong being coordinators or position coaches. So we're here. The 2 guys, Shawn, that can get over the negativity are Watson and Wilson. So if they get that, and it's funny, Brad Biggs making that report because 2 days ago, him on his podcast or whatever, I was sent a clip. There's no way Russell Wilson would go to Chicago. There's no way. And this is what this media does with these. Why not? Why not Chicago? And that's the other point that I wanted to make. Russell Wilson, of all people, is a competitor. He's had to do it his whole life. He's too short. He's a baseball player first, probably. He's overlooked at NC State. He goes to Wisconsin, becomes the captain there. leads them and wins takes them to the Rose Bowl, right? This is a guy that's always had to overcome. He loves a challenge. What better place to go to, become an icon, and win than Chicago, especially at that position, which, oh, by the way, it's been 100 years since we had a guy like Russell Wilson under center, or for the nerd blog boys, in shotgun behind center.
You know, you mentioned something that's really telling in your, you talk about Patrick Mahomes. You just mentioned it with Russell Wilson, and then you can also look over at Kyler Murray over in Arizona. You get guys who play multiple sports or at a high level, and all three of those guys were baseball players.
Yep.
Russell Wilson, he reported, was it Texas is who he got drafted by? Him and Kyler Murray. I think Kyler was with the Oakland A's. So they were in spring training a couple times while they were still playing football. So, I think there may be there's a lot to be said, but you got three great quarterbacks who also played baseball. I think that's a huge thing. And this is what's funny is I was talking to a friend of mine, and her son is a baseball player, but he's like all baseball, 365. I was like,
yeah,
do yourself and do him a favor, get him into another sport.
Totally agree.
And the kid's 13, whatever, 12 or 13.
Yep.
And he had a little league arm. I'm like, that's why you just don't, because he was a pitcher and he wasn't pitching properly. He was doing a Kerry Wood, Ivan, and he was throwing the ball instead of pitching, and he didn't have his lower extremities involved. And I'm like, dude, get him into. You got to get. See, there you go. Start with your nonsense. I said, get him into another sport. I said, I know he loves baseball, but get him into another sport. Specialization is bad.
Yeah.
And
I have my boys playing soccer. I'm not a fan of soccer at all, but they're going to play soccer in the spring.
That makes
Work
sense.
on their footwork.
Bingo.
Do the things they need to do.
Ask Akeem Olajuwon.
Yes.
It worked out for him.
Yeah, we have Chicago Bear now center Dieter Eisland from Yale, who also agreed about modern pizza, by the way. Just throw that in. He's on the Bears now. They've moved him to center, which is great news for us, Shawn, because this guy is a mean son of a bitch who's only played 6 years of organized football, and he's on the Chicago Bears, and he's a former rugby player. So it's imperative that you play these other sports, gain these other skills, especially when you're talking about young kids and people. You really need to do this. Look at Shane already. You've distracted Shawn all. They're all running their mouths, right? Doing something. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's the smart thing for every parent that's listening in. Get your child out of the specialization of sports and let them experience all sports to the extent where they can choose as well as understand the competitiveness of sports and how great they are, especially with COVID now, even more so. I always see all these parents with AAUs. They think their son or daughter is going to be the next, NBA player. I always tell parents there's 8 scholarships for basketball or 10. There's 48 scholarships for football. So do that math and go that route. That was my sales pitch to get kids out for football.
Yeah,
but it's true.
Literally. But
it's true.
It really is. And but here's the most important thing about that is, it depends on how good of a player you are. So you may, first of all, if you're a stud, you're going to be the leader. And sometimes kids don't understand. Like you have to learn how to be a good follower to be a leader. You got to be a good soldier to be a good general. And,
Nice.
and sometimes when you're not very good at something else as your second sport, but you just love having fun with your boys because they're your friends, you have to know there's a pecking order. You have to know how to follow directions, and then you can watch somebody else lead because you're going to have other guys who are better, and they may have a style that you like. They may lead in a way that, oh wow, I like the way this guy leads. So when you go back to your sport and you're the top dog, you're the head honcho, you can treat people the way that you appreciated being
Great.
treated as a leader. Or vice versa. You're just a guy who's just a jag bag, and you're like, you know, when I go back to my sport, I'm not going to be that jag bag. And it's
Absolutely.
talk about those are people skills. So when you go through different sports, and then you have some guys who are just studs across the board, okay, but most people aren't. So it's just
Great.
learning how to be.
Great advice. It's called humility.
Yeah.
It is. When I played basketball, I was 5'7". I was a damn good passer and defensive player. I'm not a basketball player, but I hustled. I played. Football was my sport. Actually, baseball was my best sport, and I just didn't love the game.
Got you.
I don't even want to go down that road, but the reality was that was easily my best sport, and I just didn't love the game, but it taught me what you're talking about, humility, where I was a leader, an alpha on the football field, on the basketball court, the humility and the recognition of other people's talents and work that they put in really comes to the surface, and it molds you into a great human. You of all people know, if you're a parent, a mom, I've heard too many stories. I don't want my son to play football. They're going to get hurt. Well, if you look at the stats, and I don't normally do stats, but in this case, it's a medical one, so it matters. There's more concussions in soccer in the United States than there are in football, and it's crazy. But because they're being so conscious of football, that it's important that you allow a young man or even your daughter, there's a lot of girls that are playing football. I'm not going to be biased towards anybody, to experience that sport. It's the ultimate team sport where everybody is relied upon. The fat kid, that people are busting on in school, that loves Megadeth, all of a sudden comes on the football field and he's hanging out with the kid that's into hip hop and skateboarding, and he's the running back that's running behind the fat kid. Yeah, they need each other. Now a brotherhood and a bond becomes, and you start to understand everybody has problems. Everybody's going through something.
I didn't realize you looked like you had a perfect family. I didn't think this like
exactly.
I got the same thing. No way. Your parents do this. Your brother and sister do this. You're like,
the
holy
greatest
cow.
sport. It is.
Hands down.
It's
Hands
the greatest
down.
sport. I was just emotional the other day with my sons. Like I texted you, watching Ernie Davis, The Express.
Mm-hmm.
It expressed it there. And we had Dante Jones on the show legitimately the next night talking about how Texas University didn't allow black players to play on their university till 1970. 1970.
Wow.
Think about this. So this stuff was going on, and you're seeing it, and your sons are asking you, "What's up, Maya?" Your sons are asking you. My sons are Jewish, based on my wife being Jewish. White kids, that's how I just was raised. The Puerto Rican guy on the corners on 54th, the white guy, the Italian dude, that's the black dude, the Jamaican dude. That's how that's how I was raised. I loved everybody. My father would never allow it any. So now when my sons are watching racial prejudices and they're on teams with black, brown, Hispanic, whatever, they can't even comprehend any human being rude to anybody. I know I'm going crazy off the thing, but it's the sport of football brings every person together. And if you're a great coach, you're a great brother, like I know you are, Shawn, then that kind of unifying as Ivan's putting up there comes to the forefront in this great game of football. It
Yeah.
really does, and it's important. I mean, I can't even believe when I heard 1970, and to tie it all
Unbelievable.
back together. That's what I told you. They had Holy Cross playing Syracuse in this movie. They show it, and guess who Syracuse plays for the national championship in 1963 with Ernie Davis? It was Texas. And they made a big thing, and Martin Luther King was down there because these black boys were coming to Texas to play for the national championship, and they're throwing bottles. And you're having to teach your son. The movie is such a great showcase of how far we've come, but still are where we are until we talk about it.
How far we have to go.
Yeah, we got to go. We got a long way to go if we can't address this stuff, and we got to be too PC and too politics and all that, and not really recognize the unifying factors of sport.
You know, why do you think that there was an attack on football? Because, you know, everyone talked about it, and then the soccer mom, you know, the homemakers, the little, you know, the Karens and everything got all salty, you know, like I'm taking my son out of football because of this, you know, basically because of concussions. But there's data, you know, this is where the media takes over, you know, and they hype certain things, and they talk about this, and then at that point, then the media says, okay, then let's talk about the various football athletes, the Junior Seau, the Dave Duersons, you know, because of all the concussions, and you know, then what they did to themselves. And it was a scare tactic, a scare campaign, and it really was when there really are more concussions in the game of soccer than there are in football, and it's you wouldn't think that,
right?
But you would never think that, but statistically, there is, and so, you know, once you get something, once it's on the TV, then, you know, the mainstream's like, well, it has to be true.
It has to be true.
So. Yeah,
it's unfortunate because that's where we are. We have a platform, and I take it as a huge responsibility to educate people on things they might not feel comfortable talking about. The Karens of the world might not want to admit that in 1970, that's not that long ago, it took to allow black players on the same football field as white players in our country. That right there showcased it to me. And it was so, and with the concussions thing, Shawn, it's like, even with my own wife, I don't know if I want, honey, they are going to learn so many lessons in life. I've had so many ex-players come up to me and say, if I didn't play this game of football, I would be a totally different person. I'd be an F-up. I would be in prison. I learned so many lessons about being a father, about being a husband, about being a dad to kids. And it really is important like that, to get away, do your own research. Don't just take what somebody told you on Twitter or in the media. Whatever's hot is going to be the narrative that's written. In reality, it's just like mental health, the same kind of stigma attached to that. It's like everybody's dealing with depression, anxiety based on what we're dealing with in this country.
Yeah.
There's so many different scenarios, avenues that people can manipulate numbers to create their own narrative. But the reality is there's zero wrong with needing help. There's zero wrong with doing the right thing.
And reaching out for help.
Exactly. And talking about it. So I didn't expect to go this way on the show, but this is what we do here, especially when you and I get together. It's a brotherhood. I never hide from quoting you. In fact, you're coming on with me tomorrow, right? The show with me and my dad, or you're not going to be able to do it?
No, you didn't say it. You didn't tell me. You didn't.
I did. I said.
Did you? I don't remember
We talked for an hour. You forgot.
When? I haven't been drinking, so the last couple of weeks I'm like, I know it wasn't a drunk conversation. I know you said if we're going to do the running backs.
Yeah.
I know you said you're going to do the running backs. I didn't know you said it was going to be this week. I remember
Saturday.
Yeah.
Can you do it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. There you go. We've cleared it all up. We had our meeting.
I'm glad we're on the same
We're gonna
page.
break down tomorrow. My father, X's with the O's. We got a special guest. This guy, the super back, gonna be breaking down the tape. We got all of it, Shawn. You don't even need to see the tape pre-show.
No, I don't.
You break it down like the coach you are. You're a
Yeah.
great coach. Even on the show, I know a coach when I see one. It's not just because you're wearing the headphones with the mic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's run Red Rover, Santa Sleigh.
We'll stack samurai top, samurai top by defense. Stack samurai top, stack samurai top.
You'd always have to get something simple that these guys would. I remember I called a play. Oh shit! So these kids would they would
Stay on the
remember
field. Yeah.
they would remember it. It was reverse pass, and it got every defense. It burned every defense. So I called it oh shit because the linebacker was the key fake, and he always was like oh shit. I messed up. So one dude told his mom that the play's called oh shit. And so she called up the athletic, what is it? The AD, the athletic director. And she's like, are you really calling a play oh shit? I go, yes, I am. It's for them to remember it. So I had to have I go, oh my God. And that was what? In the 90s?
That's
they were
crazy.
having problems with it. I could never call it that. Oh, poopies. Oh, poopies.
Listen, here's a real funny story. So when I was playing with the Chicago Chargers, I had this guy, and he's gonna love this. His name is Mike Out, and he played at he went to Julian on the South Side, and he went to Mississippi Valley State. His name was Quick. He was a cornerback, and he was like our emergency backup quarterback. He was like our fourth string quarterback, and our starting quarterback. Then he got mad with the owner. The owner was being a jag, and the quarterback's like F you. And our backup didn't show up that game. So the third guy who holds the clipboard, he goes in, but he was one of those guys. He was a guy who liked wearing uniforms. You know, the clipboard holder. He liked being the backup. He liked being a clipboard holder. So he goes in and he gets destroyed on one play. Right. So our defensive back starting corner has to go in. And there's a lot of smack talking going back and forth. And this dude on the other team, who was number 11, he was like, "Oh, we're gonna get this quarterback," and our quarterback was like, "What?" He goes, "Who the hell are you?" He said, "What's your dumb ass?" He said, so he goes down, set, 11 sucks. 11 sucks. Said hut. And the guy's like, "Hey, ref, what are you doing?" So he does it again for the same. He goes, "Ref," he goes, "That's a penalty." And ref's like, "On what?"
What?
And he said it again, down, set. And he looked right at him. 11 sucks. 11 sucks.
That's great.
Stories like that, are what make football just so awesome. Because there's a guy's like, "What do you, ref?" The guy's like,
"Can't do anything."
On what? Oh, hey, Phil, thanks for taking time with me, buddy. I appreciate it,
man. We'll
love
see
you too,
tomorrow.
brother.
We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk a little.
TapeNeverLies.com. I'll call you later today. Give you the whole skinny and everything.
Cool. Yeah, let me know so I can post it on my social media so people can check it out. And hopefully get more people following your checking out your network. So definitely let me I want to get that out there to my people because that'll be fun. And breaking down film. I haven't broke down film like in a long time. Like
I'm putting the pressure on you.
No pressure at all.
It is a patron show. So
okay.
Yeah, they got to sign up to become a patron if you want to see it.
Okay.
Maybe we can give them a little tease. We'll do a clip of you breaking down a play or something.
Okay.
And then you can put it on your social media. That'll be obvious. We're brainstorming on the air. On the air. Ivan, you're the best, man. I love you. I saw my girl Maya checking in.
Maya's checking in. Yeah, she's at work.
What's up, Maya? And there, see? And Shane, stop texting Shawn while we're doing a show, for God's sake. Follow me on Instagram. Follow the Tape Never Lies. We got, next week, Shawn. David Kaplan's coming on with us.
Oh, he's back?
Just going to talk. We're not doing a whole show. It's just going to be quarterback talk. So that's going to be quarterback only scenarios. And Shane has done all this research on what he believes is going to transpire. It could be happening this weekend. Maybe it'll be Monday or Tuesday that a trade goes down and work out perfect. But yeah, that's going to be next week's Wednesday night show. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm keeping it 100. Good.
I'm keeping it 100 just on the quarterbacks. Who the F is our quarterback? That'll be the name of the show.
It's Gardner Minshew.
I'll die. All right, brother.
All right, man. We'll talk a little later.
Love you, man.
All right.
Later.
Guys, we had 3 hours has come and gone. Unbelievable. I want to thank my guests, Bob Nightingale. He's a man. He's a man when it comes to Major League news. Thank him for calling in, talking little White Sox and Cubs baseball with us today. And then our guy, you just saw him, Phil Toshin. Great stuff, talking Bears. And then we kind of veered off and went on a tangent, but it was good, man. It was still good about football. And there's something about that game, Ivan, and anyone who's played it, any guys who are watching and who played it, whether I coached you or played alongside you, there's just something about that game that you just can't duplicate anywhere else. So
when you're working within a team, man, it's there's a connection amongst each other that you can't explain it. You really can't explain it. And it really is like one for all. You know what I'm saying? It really is.
Because the thing is, you see everybody's skill set, and everybody has a specific skill set. Like the DBs it'd be funny. We'd be drinking after the game and they're like, man, when you got in the open and I saw that DB coming at you, and he goes, I knew you about to truck his ass. I knew it. I was like, oh, and so, you appreciate the skill set of your teammates and you anticipate a certain level. And when you have it at a high level, man, there's nothing like it, man. There's nothing like it because you're like, oh, he's going to run this guy over, or he's going to go run past that DB and it's going to be a touchdown, or, this is the small things, how much you appreciate each other. I had one dude before we got to get off. One dude is I played against him before I came over to the Thunder, and he was a safety. This dude was bad, man. He was bad, and we had some battles, and then when I came over, it was like the second or third year that I played. And we were getting drunk after the game one time, and he was like, man, he goes, I never told you this, dog. He goes, but I got so much respect for you, bro. He goes, I hated playing against you. He goes, and I had so much respect for you. He goes, and I love that you're playing with us. He goes, but I got mad respect for you, dude. He goes, and I don't give out compliments to anybody. He goes, but he goes, you that shit, dude. I was like, you the man. I was like, oh, bro, thanks. I was like, wow. I was really, really shocked. You know what I mean? And this game recognizes game and respect, and it teaches you how to appreciate other people's talents, despite not having to lower or diminish yours. You know what I mean? You just appreciate other people's. But other people I do appreciate, we got our executive director, Elliot Baez, our social media guy, clearance counsel, my co-host in absentia, Maya Akai, my guy right here who makes it all run smoothly, Ivan Vargas. Man, without these guys made it a great show today. So for Elliot Baez, clearance counsel, and Maya Akai, and my boy Ivan Vargas.
Hey guys, be sure to check out the Smoke Fellas tomorrow on the Humidor Sports and Cigars podcast, 11 to 1 p.m. It's gonna be a good show. I know we're gonna be talking a lot of NBA, a lot of NFL, and I know that baseball is right around the corner. Even though Sly Dog can't talk baseball no more because he said that, and I'm gonna call him out and hold him to that. So everybody here, but everybody on the panel, but Sly can talk baseball tomorrow, and I'm just letting you know that now. But it should be a good show. Check us out, 11 to 1.
Awesome, guys. So for my guy, Ivan Vargas, man, I'm your boy, the Superback, Sean Sierra. We're going to take a 69-hour break. I'll be back. We'll be back on Monday, 9 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time. I got a couple words for you. Enjoy the weekend. It's going to be, if you're in the Chicago area, it's going to be 50s this weekend, en route to 60s, but Saturday and Sunday is going to be 50 degrees. I'm going to get my car washed today. Then the line might be long already. God bless it. It's 12 o'clock. But, guys, enjoy it. Get out there, and we out.